storyteller, Ron Campbell. Hey, Ron.
Hi, Mr. Rosen. Thank you. So it's late at night, and I'm in a big empty parking lot in my Datsun, and Melissa Smith is breaking up with me. And I figure, well, okay, we're in this parking lot, it's fine, it's the closing night of a production of The Inspector General at the Los Angeles Theater Center, in which I played the lead character, Kolesnikov. And for those of you that don't know your 18th century Russian satires, Kolesnikov is this guy who arrives by train in a small town, and he's immediately mistaken as the Inspector General, and he's plied with a lot of food and giant wads of money he's bribed with, and he's even set up with the mayor's daughter. And then at the end of the play, he jumps back up on the train as the real Inspector General arrives. So I'm in the parking lot, and Melissa Smith is in the process of breaking up with me, and she's explaining how I'm too self-involved. And I'm a 20-year-old actor, so of course I'm self-obsessed. And so I defend myself. Well, I keep it going. I resist the breakup because I want the relationship to have its full treatment. And so I say, look, I didn't know that you were even coming tonight. I would have arranged your ticket. And she says, no, I paid for my ticket. And I say, well, here, let me pay you back. And she says, no, it's all right. And I say, no, please, here. And I give her 2 20s out of my jacket pocket. And she says, no, you keep the money. And she says, it was only $30, by the way, so she's kind of disparaging the show. And I say, no, I really insist. And she says, no. And so I say, okay, fine. And I take the money, and I cut the 20 in half. And then I cut it in quarters, and I cut it in little pieces, and it's my Datsun, so I roll down the window, and I throw the pieces out like confetti. And now she's looking at me like, you're not only really not boyfriend material, you're crazy. Because, we're in our 20s, so $40 is real money. Now, I should explain at this point that the prop mistress at the Los Angeles Theater Center made these beautiful wads of money for us. They're fantastic. And so I'm sitting in the car, and at that moment I look up in the rearview mirror, and there's a guy with a 2x4, and he's going to ram the 2x4 through the back window, the plastic black window of my car, and through my head and through the front windshield of my beloved Datsun. And there's a guy comes over to the driver's side, he's got a gun, and he says, give me your money. So we're being robbed, and I'm breaking up, and Melissa picks up her purse, but everything spills out onto the floor in front of the passenger seat, so she's desperately, trying to go through it, and the guy is pointing the gun basically at her, and I can't help notice that there's a ridge along the top of the gun where the 2 pieces of plastic go together, so it's basically a water pistol painted black. So I start pushing his stomach to go away, but I'm really worried about the guy with the 2x4 behind us. And at that moment, a guy from the check cashing place across the street from the theater comes booking across, this huge guy, and he's jingling along. He's got his keys and everything in his hand on the sidearm. So they run off. And the security guard comes around, jingles around the side of the car, and says, are you guys okay? I'm going to call this in. He's got a walkie-talkie, and off he goes. And now we're back in this empty parking lot together. And Melissa says, and I'll never forget it, and I love her for this. She said, so anyway. Thank you.
Ron Campbell, ladies and gentlemen.